Hey everybody, happy holidays and welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live. How are all of you? Thanks for joining us. It's good to see everybody tonight. Always nice when you guys are tuning in from all around the world. We do have an international audience. I'm your host, Jim Masters, and how's your day going? It is the thick of the holiday season. Happy Hanukkah to everybody and Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. We've got an international audience here who celebrates all kinds of different holidays. So we try to cover all the bases here. If you're just joining us for the first time, I am your host, Jim Masters. This is an entertainment lifestyle talk show series that we started about 37 weeks ago, over 200 episodes ago. And we're here every single day live. Sometimes we do 2 shows a day. It's been extraordinary. And we thank everybody for all the great comments, the tagging, the sharing, subscribing to the YouTube channel. That has exploded. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, we would love that. That really is great for the show. And love the Facebook page as well at Jim Masters TV, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, all the Jim Masters TV. How's everybody doing? You're doing your holiday shopping, cooking, baking, listening to music? Well, we've got a music-filled night with a renowned keyboardist as well as singer and songwriter Bob Malone. He's the keyboard player for John Fogerty, but he also has a phenomenal solo career that has been in fruition for a long time and been going strong for a long time. And we're really excited to have him here. He's at his beautiful piano at his home in LA, and he's going to be performing live. We got some videos. We got lots of incredible, cool things happening here for you. Thanks for joining us, everybody watching on our YouTube channel. If this is your first time, I'm a television, radio personality, presenter, host, journalist, actor, writer, producer, voiceover artist, stage MC. We started this show as an entertainment lifestyle talk show series to bring back the lost art of conversation with interactivity with our Lovity viewers. Everybody calls themselves the Lovities because I say the show is about light, love, and levity. And again, one time I fouled up and I said love and levity together and we created Lovity. And everybody fell in love with that word. So you guys call yourselves the Lovities. And if you're new to the show, now that you're watching, you're a Lovity too. They call me Mr. Lovity and they call all of our guests the Lovities. And we toast all of you. That's right. We do it in style. You, and you. We thank you very much for joining us here. We hope you're having a good day. And let's check in right away with our Lovity viewers and see how everybody's doing all around the world. Again, thanks for joining us exclusively. This is a YouTube exclusive on the Jim Masters Show Live we're doing tonight. Christine Clifton says, good evening, Jim and Lovity friends. We welcome keyboardist, singer, songwriter Bob Malone to the show tonight. Great conversation, music ahead. Good to see you in North Carolina, Christine. Thanks for joining us as well. And we have Sherry who's here. Sherry, hello, Jim and Lovities. It's wonderful to be here in Lovity Hall with you again this evening. Nice to see you as well, Sherry. Thanks for joining us. Merlin is here from Innerkip, Ontario, Canada. Nice to see you here as well. And guess what, Bob? You are a Lovity. I told him about that he's going to be welcomed as a Lovity, and that's really cool. Willie is here from Holland. Hello, Jim and Lovities. Have a nice show. Greetings from Holland. Good to see you as well in the Netherlands, Willie. And also, and Wozniak is here. Good evening, Jim and all Lovities. Looking forward to an amazing evening with Bob Malone. Absolutely, he is here. We're going to have a fantastic time. Nice to see you. Good evening, Jim and Lovities from Kathy Short in Cleveland. So happy to be listening tonight from Cleveland. Mary Bishop from Florida reporting for duty. Hello, Jim and Lovities and Bob. Good to see you as well. Sherry says, welcome to Lovity Hall, Bob. So happy you're here with us tonight. That is from Sherry Show Online. Good to see you as well. Maureen is here. Happy Tuesday. Hello, everyone. I'm home in my jammies. Well, that sounds kind of comfortable about now. And the sun isn't even down yet. Yeah, that's right. You're from the earlier time or the later time zones, right? Anne is here. Welcome, Bob. Would love to hear you are a mean one, Mr. Grinch. As long as copyright is fine, then we're good. We always have to watch out for copyright and YouTube. Those two things don't always blend. Juanita is here from South Africa. Hello, Jim, and all the lovely Lovities from Juanita. Nice to see you as well. Celtic Caper Girl is here. Hello, hello, lovely friends. Good to see you as well. Celtic Caper Girl 1. And let's see, you overdid the cleaning yesterday, injured your shoulder. So better part of the day, you've been in bed resting. So you're in bed watching our show. Well, we're glad you're here and you made it, even in pain, you made it here. Glad to be here with you as well. Kathleen Walker, New York City, says, glad to be here tonight with all of you. That's really, really cool. Merlin in Ontario, Canada, cheers to you as well. Thanks for joining us. I love it. I love it. I love it. Jennifer Barry, happy holidays, Jim and Bob and Lovities. Nice. Marilyn, hi, Jim and all our Lovities. Good stuff. Let's welcome our very special guest. I want to tell you, he has an illustrious career. He's incredibly talented. He's what they call a super talent. They call him actually a keyboard wizard, and he really, really is. Bob Malone is extraordinary, and it's my honor to have him here on the show. He's toured the world as a solo artist for 2 decades and has played keyboards with rock legend John Fogerty since 2011. He is also a busy session player and arranger too, and is featured on the latest Ringo Starr record, Give More Love. His recording of course, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, is featured in the worldwide trailers for the upcoming Illumination Universal movie, The Grinch. Classically trained with a degree in jazz and a lifetime of playing rock and roll clubs, theaters, and arenas, Bob combines unforgettable songwriting with one-of-a-kind hybrid of rock, blues, New Orleans R&B, delivered with high-energy piano virtuosity and a voice of his own. He plays about 100 shows a year in the US, UK, Europe, Australia, including sets at the Umbria Jazz Festival in Italy, Glastonbury Music Festival in the UK, the Cone Blues Festival in UK, Long Beach Bayou Fest in, of course, the US, the Falcon Ridge Folk Fest in the US, Blue Mountains Music Fest in Australia, and so many more. It's incredible, his experiences. His album Mojo Deluxe went to #1 on the Independent British Blues Broadcasters IBBA radio chart, was one of the top 100 most played CDs as well. He's also opened for some of the major acts that you guys know too. Of course, Boz Scaggs, Subdudes, the Neville Brothers, Raval Green, Bodines, Dr. John, Marcia Ball, and many others. As a member of John Fogerty's band, he has also played with Bruce Springsteen, Bob Seger, Jackson Browne, Billy Gibbons, Jimmy Buffett, and Alan Toussaint. He's extraordinary, and he's live from his beautiful home in Los Angeles. Well, let's welcome him right now. He's seated comfortably where he loves, and that is, of course, at his piano. Welcoming Bob Malone from LA. Bob, welcome to the show. It's good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
How are you? How you doing, my friend?
I'm all right. I have this compulsion to look at you over here and not look at the camera over here. I'm getting used to it. I'm not looking at you right now. I feel rude.
but you are.
But what you see is me looking at you.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. It's our little secret.
Well, it was.
Tell us about the setting where you are. It's really nice. I love that white piano.
Oh,
I mean, nice stuff.
I'm in my living room, and I've been doing concerts here every week since March, online. So that's my life now, is playing online and being off the road. So I've got it all set up. I got a camera, I got some sound gear back here that you can't see, artfully hid so that it still looks like my living room when I'm not playing.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I couldn't have a bunch of gear all over the house, although I kind of do, but I'm trying not to.
Trying to keep it neat.
Yeah. And this is just my piano.
Shows,
which oddly, I was usually on the road so much, I rarely even play this piano, because I'll come home from the road. I'm like, I don't really want to play right now. I just want to rest for a week.
You just want to rest.
Again. So this thing's gotten more of a workout this year than in the last 9 years I've had it.
Isn't that amazing how that is? It's crazy.
Yeah. I had to have the tuner come in and fix stuff because I broke it because it hadn't been played. Anyway, it's all good now.
It's all good. Yeah, I'm all tuned. And I just wanted to show you some of the cool comments that are coming in here. Celtic Caper Girl 1 says, welcome to the show, Bob. You're now our newest Lovity. So you're in the land of Lovity here. Not bad.
I didn't know anything about that. I would have planned ahead and gotten my Lovity T-shirt made or something.
That's
I
Kathy
could have,
Short,
when I inputted my name, I could have put Bob Lovity Malone. I could have, I
Bob
don't know,
Lovely Malone.
a million things I could have done.
Welcome, Bob, to the land of lovelies from Kathy Short in Cleveland, from South Africa. Welcome to the show, Bob, from Juanita, from Holland. Welcome, Bob. Have fun with the lovelies. From Willie in Holland, Wichita, Kansas. Marilyn says, welcome, Bob, to Lovely Hall. You're now a lovely. Bernadette Vidal says, hi, Jim and everyone. Welcome to Lovely Hall. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, it's nice to have you here. I know it's a crazy time. How have you been keeping busy through all of this? Normally, you like to be on the road, you like to be playing, you like to be in studios doing your thing.
Yeah, I mean, I do my show every week on Stage It, which is a broadcasting, thing you can do concerts on, and that's been my main live outlet and actually a pretty significant source of income. And I've done some sessions, I just did one for Lucifer, the TV show Lucifer. We cut a track for them. And, but mostly, eating too much, watching way too much TV. I can't complain because I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't. So I don't even talk much about it. I mean, it's been a very interesting year.
Yes,
everyone.
it is.
Interesting is not even the word. It's just been bizarre, So I try to keep busy. There isn't, we're all used to traveling around and playing, and I haven't been on a plane since March, which is incredibly weird.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
I haven't had my hair cut since March, but
I
bet
haven't either. Yeah. I actually had things loosened up for a second late in the summer, and I ran out and got a haircut. Might have been even before summer. I think it was before. I don't know, but I got a haircut. I haven't had one since then.
How long did it take you to grow at that length?
Well, it's usually long anyway, but it's not quite this long. So, I mean, it's gotten to this length in the last 5 months or something like that.
That's what's happened with everybody. Exactly.
It used to be this long. It's at 90s length right now. This is my hair. Normally it's more. It's long, but it's a more sculptured.
Right. Exactly.
Right now it's just a mass of hair. At my age, I'm just glad that I have my hair. That's basically
that you have your hair.
That's my motto. It's not. I didn't have to. It's not colored. It's
it's the real deal.
Spot. I'm lucky.
You are definitely the head of the game, my friend. Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit. Some of your upbringing early on. What were some of those early influences in your life, Bob, that turned you on to music, even in the beginning when you were a kid?
Well, when I was a kid, my parents wanted me to just be a well-rounded kid and take some lessons, some piano lessons, organ lessons. They were first. We had one of those home organs. And I went to take lessons. And the first year, nothing much happened. I was didn't want to do it. And my mom was like, my parents weren't musicians or stage parents or anything like that, but my mom didn't want me to quit at anything. So she was like, and she noticed that I liked being watched while I was played. Like I liked to perform, even though I didn't really want to bother with learning how to actually do anything. So she's like, I'll watch you play for 15 minutes a day if you'll just practice for 15. So I did that. And maybe 10 months in, all of a sudden something clicked and I was just ripping like a little prodigy. And from that point on, I was 10, I guess. I was like, this is what I'm doing with the rest of my life. And I wanted to be a concert pianist. I played classical music. I loved it. And I was really into jazz. I'm still really into both of those things. But at 15, I was corrupted by rock and roll. I discovered Billy Joel and the Beatles 10 years after they'd broken up, but it was new to me. I was like, oh my God, what is this amazing band? So, And then a little while after that, I really fell heavily for New Orleans music, and Ray Charles, Dr. John, that kind of stuff. And it all just kind of blends together and makes what it is that I am now, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So those were and around 15, I started playing bars on the weekends. My high school friend and I had a band with two other guys that were a little bit older. They were like in their early 20s, and we worked every weekend. I make like $200 on a weekend, which if you were in high school in the 80s, that was a lot of money, for a kid. So that's when parents were first kind of relieved that maybe I could actually make money, playing the piano. So, yeah.
So, as you were going along, what were some of those opportunities that really took hold for you? Maybe working in bands or, getting involved in school activities. What were some of the things that were sort of really getting this rolling for you, and some of those doors that were opening along the way for you, Bob?
I mean, in school, in high school, I had a couple of junior high too. I mean, all through school, I had great music teachers. I remember one of my the band and choir director of my high school had this wedding band that played on the weekends. So one time they sent me to sub, and I was totally not ready. I was probably 16, and I think I probably blew the gig, but it was the kind of experience that you need to become good. You had to kind of go fail at something.
You're right, exactly. Right.
So it was that, and those were the stuff like that were the earliest things. I became a choir director for a church. It was like a paid gig.
Really?
And there was all these older people, and I was like 17 or whatever. I was sent to do it. It wasn't a church I went to or anything like that. It was a job. And I learned I had to go walk in there and be the director of these people who were like, who is this punk kid coming in here? And I had to own it. And that was another thing that I got, thrown at me in school. I was really lucky that way. And then I went to music college, and all the time I was at Berkeley. It was Berkeley College of Music up in Boston. And all the time I was there, I played every night. I played gigs every night. I worked. And I really learned how that worked. And again, I had a thing where like my piano teacher would send me to sub for him. And then I formed a rock and roll band, and we toured regionally. And then the band broke up, and I moved to Los Angeles. And I was here, and I started to really develop kind of what it is I do now. And I was young, so I was like 25 or whatever. I got a publishing deal almost right away. And the guy that signed me, and it looks like everything was going to happen, and the guy that signed me had a nervous breakdown and quit. And then he died. It was really tragic. And so nothing ever happened with that. But I kept working. And around the mid-90s, I just decided that if I wasn't going to have a record deal, I was going to still do what I wanted to do. So I started touring, playing my own tunes, and just built up a following all over the country and eventually outside the country. And I did that for years. I had songs used on TV shows, and that helped. And I just worked really hard. And then
what were some of the shows that you had songs on that people might remember, Bob?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, not Law and Order. It was
LA Law?
No, NCIS.
Oh, yeah.
Had tunes on there. And did a bunch of incidental music for like Dr. Phil and my producer, who I work with now. He wrote the Dr. Phil theme and Entertainment Tonight.
Oh,
and
really?
He brought me into a bunch of TV stuff. Yeah, Bob DeMarco. He's been a huge help to me and a great musician.
And Entertainment Tonight, is that the da-na-na-na-na-na?
Yeah,
Yeah, really?
Exactly.
That's him, huh? Wow.
Yeah. So that stuff was happening. I played with Ricky Lee Jones for one extraordinarily strange night.
Yeah.
And I was doing pretty well,
Yeah.
quite well. I was making a living playing my own tunes and doing session work. And the recession happened, and it got really rough.
Is that the
And right about
2008 one?
what's that?
2008? 2008 recession?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2008. It didn't really get rough for me about till 2010 because I
Mm.
was booked for the next couple of years, but I started to note like everyone was drawing smaller crowds. The session work dried up. And then I got this call to play with John Fogerty, which right out of the blue.
Really?
And I joined his band. And
What was that
I kept doing what I was doing before.
as
That
well?
hasn't really changed, but now I do both.
What that call obviously came at the right time for you in life, but also what was that feeling like when you got that call from, you know, John Fogerty and company?
I mean, the first call was from my lawyer. It sounds so Hollywood, but he's also my friend. He's a fan, and we've known each other since we were young. And when he was kind of nobody and I was nobody, and he was coming up. So by the time this happened, he's a big time entertainment lawyer, and he represents a lot of famous people, like John Fogerty's one of them, and Bob Dylan, people like that. So he said, he calls me up and he's like, Bob, John Fogerty's looking for a new keyboard player. So I've been talking you up to them, and they'll probably call. And no one called for about 6 months. And then out of the blue, I got that call. So I kind of had forgotten all about it. Like when they didn't call, I was not surprised because 99% of the time in showbiz, no one calls. It's that 1% of the time that they call that is your career, So, but then they called and they said, "Hey, you want to come down and do a few songs?" So I showed up at John's house and I auditioned in the garage actually. And I was like, man, I'm playing Creedence tunes in the garage. Like, who hasn't done this except John Fogerty is here? That was the audition. And like 2 weeks later, I was playing with them in Russia. That was like one of the first things. It was one of the first things we did was Russia in front of 300,000 people. So
wow,
I had
incredible.
played for some pretty big crowds up to that point. I'd played festivals, on my own stuff, but nothing even close to that magnitude. That was a whole new world. Although it's not scary, it's so big that it's really remote and everything. And when you see if any big show like that, there's lots of lights and, I mean, with him, we've done tons of arena shows and everything. And, if you see it from the audience, there's all this stuff going on. There's lights and there's big screens and everyone looks really epic. But when you're playing on stage, it just still feels like a gig. The crowd is bigger, of course, but you don't see all that production. So
Right.
you're just playing in the band, At that point, early on, I was like just trying to remember all the songs, and I really wasn't concentrating on that there was all those people out there. I just saw it later. I was like, I can't believe that was the same gig, that I was just standing there kind of, is it an E chord? Is it a D chord? Then after I got to really know the songs, I could pay attention to the crowd a lot more. But at first it was hardly even registering. I was just watching John, making sure I got my cues,
Did everything you needed to do.
Yeah, I was just doing my part. I wasn't really like, oh my God, look at all those people. I mean, I think right before we went on, I was, but then.
Yeah.
Anyway,
then you sort of settle down and you just
and
get
it was
into
during the day, so you didn't see the lights, but out there they saw the thing. It was amazing. Anyway.
So you've been with since 2011 now with John Fogerty and company?
10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing. I mean, that's a legend right there too. And you're still, what's a typical, before obviously all this with the COVID and everything, what's a typical day been like for you, Bob? Or is there no typical day?
I don't know if there's a typical day. I mean, there's a typical day at home.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just depends. I'm either home working on logistical, businessy type stuff I got to do to be a musician, which is
Yeah.
really being a small business owner, basically.
That's what it is, the business side,
Yeah.
right?
Or I have sessions, or I'm, I also get hired quite a bit to write arrangements for people. So I do string and horn arrangements and charts and stuff like that, which is great because I can just make really good money sitting home in my underwear doing that, and or I'll have a session here or I'm on the road, and I'm either on the road with John or I'm on the road solo. And about at least half of my year I'm on the road, kind of spread out throughout the year.
So if people have been to a John Fogerty concert and they know what that's all about, what is a Bob Malone event like?
I have a lot of energy on stage. I either play solo in kind of listening rooms and small theaters, or I play with my band. I have actually 4 bands that know my show, totally memorized. Europe, East Coast, Central, West Coast, Australia. Yeah. And I put on a show. It's up-tempo piano ripping stuff, and it's ballads, and I try to make people cry. And
you want to share something?
I tell funny stories, and
you want to tickle the ivories and share a little bit of an example?
Yeah, I'll play for you. You want? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll take my request that that came in earlier, since it's 'tis the season, and yeah.
Tell us give us the background on that too.
Yeah, this has background because it's pretty funny. So I guess this 2017. Oh, I'm looking at the piano. 2017, around Christmas time.
Don't you love all that?
Game.
I hope do you have a swivel chair? Yeah, there you go.
I couldn't get it all the way around.
You're the second guest that I've had.
That was a total fail.
You're the last guest that actually swiveled on our show is like a Broadway theater producer. And he was stuck where if he moved his chair, because he was in an apartment in Manhattan, if he moved his chair too much, it would bang against like his bed and everything.
I had one of those apartments in New York. I know all about it. Yeah. That's why you go outside as much as possible. You're there to be.
Your sound muted. You see the little mute across your microphone on the screen there? So your audio muted. So you might have to unmute it. Oh, the internet is a wacky place. Still muted. Yeah. This is so unlike television stations, radio stations. Although those things happen there too. It's just you don't necessarily see them as they're happening. The swivel chair. Yes, I believe the last person that did that was Christopher Scott. No, it's still muted. We see you and you look great. Just the swivel chair. Yeah, the last person that did a swivel. There you go. Welcome back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. It's like the Verizon.
I don't think I can hear you.
Can you hear us?
What is going on? I got muted.
So you got muted.
And now you're muted.
On your end, not because everything's good here. Meanwhile, Lovities you can play amongst yourselves while we. He's got a lot of music for you. You know what we'll do, Bob? While you figure that out, I'm going to take us, which we ended up having to do the other night with a guest. I'm going to show them this recent Christmas video here.
Well, wave at me if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
All right. I can't hear you for some reason. I have no idea what's going on, but I'll play this song.
Yeah, you can play this.
I'll tell this story. and then I don't know exactly. I'm so sorry. I just don't know.
And then
why,
we'll go to a video.
I've lost contact with the mothership.
Yeah, you could toy with it.
So I get a call 2017 Christmas time. I get a call from Universal, not a call, like an email from an intern at Universal, and they're like, "Hey, we're thinking about using your Grinch song." This was my version of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," which I had recorded in 2004 and put up on iTunes and kind of forgotten about. I might haul it out at Christmas time, but that was about it. And it was just kind of sitting there unnoticed. And they said, "Yeah, we found it and we might use it for something," but they wouldn't tell me what that something was or, what was going on. So I was like, okay, well, talk to my manager. And he couldn't get out of them what they wanted, but he said, "You might as well send it. You got nothing to lose." So I sent it. And then eventually we found out what it paid, and that was really good. And I still didn't know what it was. And they're like, "Okay, we're going to use this though." And so a month went by, and then I still have no idea what they're going to do with this. And then in early January, I see ads for this new animated movie, The Grinch, Universal. It's Illumination, right? Studios. And I'm like, that. I wasn't using my song, but there were short little clips during the Super Bowl, I think. I'm like, oh my God, that must be it. That must be the thing. And then 2 days later, I wake up and I go to my computer and I look at Facebook, and it's just blowing up with all these people like, "I just heard you singing in the new Grinch trailer on TV. And I was at the movie theater," and people are sending me surreptitiously taped things with their phone. I'm like, so that's when I knew, basically. I found out on Facebook what it was. It was very hush hush up until they didn't want me leaking that the movie was out, basically. Okay, so I still can't hear you, but I'm going to play, and then I guess we'll figure that out from there. Okay. Are you a mean one, Mr. Grinch? You really are a heel. As cuddly as a cactus, you're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. Well, I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Given the choice between the two of you, I'd take the seasick crocodile. You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, wasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The 3 words that best describe you are, and I quote, stink, stank, stir. You're a rotter, Mr. Grinch. You're the king of sinful sights. Your heart's a dead tomato spot with bolded purple spots, Mr. Grinch.
Your soul is an appalling dump heap overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable.
Can't believe I got it.
Mangled up, entangled up knots. Yeah. You nauseate me, Mr. Grinch, with a nauseous super nose. You're a crooked, jerky, jockey. You drive a crooked horse, Mr. Grinch. You're a three-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. Oh, yeah. All right.
Unbelievable. That was fantastic. Everybody's going wild here with all these comments. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you now.
I guess the piano just needed to be played.
That's right. It was like
you loosened something up when you were hitting those keys.
I know. Sometimes if you just leave it alone for a minute, it starts to work again. Hopefully it'll keep working.
You just
I have no idea what happened.
You shook the room. That's what happened. You brought everything back to life. No, don't move an inch. Nobody move.
Don't touch any. Don't even look at it.
Don't even look at it. Lots of comments coming in here from all the lovely viewers. My friend Bernadette says, fantastic on the keys as always. Love the Grinch. Great how you did that. Sharon Blackmar watching. Welcome, Sharon, on our YouTube channel, the Jim Master Show Live. She says, oh, wow, amazing. Celtic Caper Girl 1 says, loving this with lots of claps and standing ovations. Christine Clifton, North Carolina says, stink, stank, stunk, loving it. So talented. Merlin in Canada says, bravo. Kathy Short in Cleveland, all kinds of hearts and claps. Celtic Caper Girl 1 says, wow, you are class. Sherry Schoenline, claps, claps, claps. Juanita in South Africa, claps, claps, claps. Same from Ann Wozniak, all watching on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Love your voice, Bob. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love it. If you're ever feeling down in the dumps, come to this show, Bob. You'll get lots of levity here.
I know. I love all of you. Love it.
That's
come
it.
Watch me on stage. Sign up and watch me. I do that. You can see an hour of this all the time.
So much fun, so much talent. Jill Jason, Sherry says this is awesome. Love it. Toe tapping music. Love it, Bob. Jennifer Barry in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm dancing in me living room. Mr. Grinch. Celtic Caper Girl. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is so great, Bob. Juanita, love it. One of my favorite Christmas themes. Kathy Short. You really triggered them with that one. Woo, dancing in my bed.
All right. That's the kind of stuff I like to see.
That's what I was going to say. Love the Grinch from Marilyn Hammond. Ann Wozniak says, love, you are a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Thank you. Makes me smile all over. So you're making people feel great
I
too.
just want to sit here and bask in the love for as long
love
as
the
possible.
Grinch, Bernadette. That's it. This is the place, I tell you. Love Mr. Grinch. We have a video here too. I wanted to show folks, and this is one that's recent. It's a Christmas one that I showed you a clip of before that you did very recently, right there.
Yeah, Saturday we did my yearly Christmas. I have an album. I have a Christmas album, and about half of it is songs I wrote, like the one you're about to play.
Tell us about this one.
I just, well, for one thing, I always wanted to make a Christmas record, but I didn't want it to just be something that was cranked out and disposable and just didn't pay respect to the good songs that are out there.
Absolutely.
So, and I had written a few over the years, and they kind of got released as singles or whatever, but they were never really together on one record. One of them was the Grinch, right? That like is on that record that came out in 2018, but was actually recorded in 2004. Most of it was recorded in 2018, but there was a few stragglers. So anyway, so I wanted to do some original tunes, and this is one of them. And then the covers are mostly kind of unusual stuff, or real radical reworkings of something that you might have heard before. But anyway, I was in the middle of making what was going to be my new record, which will be out now early next year. And this Grinch thing happened, and I was like, oh man, I got to get this done now. I've been talking about it for 15 years. I got to actually make this Christmas record. So, it's like making any other record. It took some time. We started in the spring, and by October it was just done, barely. I mean, we worked all through the summer. Summer is always when you make your Christmas album.
Right. That's true.
Right. That's when everyone makes their Christmas record. So all through the summer we worked on it. So I got it out for 2018, and this song is on it. It's just a song about when my wife and I were just a couple of bohemian young people living in our rent controlled apartment and had no money, and not a lot of money to give each other stuff. It was still, Christmas was still a joyous Christmaka.
Right.
Yeah. For us, it was still a joyful thing, and because we loved each other. So that's basically what this tune is about.
And that's the bottom line, what you just said. That's what's really one of the main meanings of Christmas, for sure, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, really beautifully said. Here it is, folks. You're going to really enjoy this. This is fresh and recent, hot off the presses. And here's some more musical mayhem and merriment coming your way, courtesy of Masters and Malone. M&M Productions. Enjoy, everybody.
Storefronts girl with a million dreams. There'll be none of that for my baby and me. Stockings are empty and the tree is bare. The songs of joy still fill the air. And we've got the will but not the means. We ain't never seen times quite so lean as these. Oh, oh, oh. And it's Christmas. We got nothing but the ground below and the stars above. And it's Christmas. We got nothing, nothing but love. And it don't matter how bad we're doing, there's still laughter amid the ruins. Disarray and debts unpaid, still the joyous music plays. And the things we want are out of reach, but baby, we've got everything we need. Oh, oh, oh. And it's Christmas. We got nothing but the ground below and the stars above. And it's Christmas. We got nothing, nothing but love. When the ornaments reappear from the box in the closet where they hide, oh yeah, they're just ghosts of a better Christmas past, waiting just to reappear at last. And it's Christmas. We got nothing but the ground below and the stars above, and it's Christmas. We got nothing but love, and it's Christmas. We got nothing but the ground below and the stars above, and it's Christmas. We got nothing but love, nothing but love, nothing but love. Oh, that was nice.
That was really, really nice. Some of the lovely viewers were asking, who are the lovely ladies surrounding you?
All right. So in the back in the white sweater dress is my wife, Karen, who most of my songs are about. And the angry ones and the loved ones. Yeah. And Trissette, our friend Trissette, they sing regularly with me in my band when we tour. And Trissette she's been singing for years, and she's from Australia. And she just went back. She has a visa to be here for 5 years at a time, and she just went back to kind of renew her visa and wait out the whole, like, there's no work right now for her.
No.
So,
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
nice
that's them.
Great
she was
comments.
in our Corona bubble, living in our house here for a while.
Safe and sound with you guys.
We do we tried to keep it so like they were 6 feet apart. So Karen's by me. We don't have to be 6 feet apart. Trissette is over here, anyways.
No,
same
but
spot. So,
you do have to be 10 feet away from the refrigerator, they say.
We are about 10 feet away from the refrigerator, actually. 15 at most, probably 10. I can see it from here. I'm looking at it right now.
I was going to say
leftover brisket in there.
Yeah, I was going to say it's 15 feet away, but you've got a beeline right to it, right?
Yeah. Way
Merlin,
too much access to the fridge these days.
I tell you. Merlin says that's a heartfelt tune, very beautiful as well. More coming in. Such a meaningful, beautiful song, Bob. They are beautiful singers. Kathleen in New York City, very nice. Linda Odell in St. Augustine, Florida says so beautiful, nice harmony. And Wozniak, awesome. Love is the greatest gift of all. Juanita in South Africa says great Christmas song. Jill Jason says beautiful song, beautiful performances, beautiful love. Bernadette says your backup singers look so sweet. Sherry says what a very sweet story. Cool stuff. That's lots of levity coming your way here for the holidays, which is great. Yeah.
I love your people. They're so nice.
All right. We created a nice community here when I started this show
people.
and turned the lights on. And it's different than a lot of things that are out there online these days. Do you have something else you want to share with us and tickle the ivories with, my friend?
Sure. I guess this is my newest single, Good People. Well, it's been out for a year, but it's going to be in my new album. And
so it's like another
has a cool video. Has 2 cool videos, actually.
Fabulous.
Right, here we go.
People.
Karen, she can't sleep at night, tosses and turns till the morning light. The world's ugly, the world's not fair. She can't breathe through the hate in the air. It's not easy to see, I know, when you finally run out of hope. But there's good people everywhere. I say there's good people everywhere. Well, there's good people everywhere. When it seems like someone's always getting in your race, putting up the place, making you lose your faith in the human race. Just remember, there's good people everywhere. Karen, she wants to save the world. She tries hard, but she's just one girl. Now it's her who needs to be saved from a world going up in flames. You're feeling lost and afraid, I know, but believe me, you're not alone, 'cause there's good people everywhere. I say there's good people everywhere. Where there's good people everywhere. When it seems like someone's always getting in your face, shooting up the place, making you lose your faith in the human race. Just remember, there's good people everywhere. It'll take you by surprise. Kindness in the stranger's eyes. Empathy, they say it's in short supply, but it's out there. And there's good people everywhere. There's good people everywhere. I say there's good people everywhere. When it seems like someone's always getting in your face, shooting up the place, making you lose your faith in the human race. Just remember, there's good people everywhere. Just remember, there's good people everywhere. Everywhere.
Really nice. With that little extra touch of class at the end there. Booing. I love it. That's a great song. That song is so perfect for these times right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everything we've all been going through collectively, we sort of forget that because everything that's been happening, we've seen the best of people and we've seen the worst in people. And to remind ourselves that there are good people everywhere. A lot of them,
Yeah. A lot of times the worst people are the loudest people. And so that's who you hear from, And
Exactly.
a lot of really good people just go about their business doing good things and you never hear about them.
That's right. Juanita says a lot of those good people right here. Great song and a good reminder to us all. Kathy Short says great song. They're in Cleveland. Jill says, what a treat. Could be a theme for the Jim Master Show Live, Lovety Hall. Yeah, that's true. Kathy Walker in New York, claps, claps, claps. And there are good people. Just have to find them. They're right here. That's for sure on our show. You've had an opportunity too in your incredible career, Bob, to also, and I mentioned this in the introduction, open for luminaries like Boz Scaggs and the Neville Brothers and, Al Green and incredible people, and being a part of John Fogerty's band, playing with Bruce Springsteen, Bob Seger, Jackson Brown, Jimmy Buffett, even Alan Toussaint. Tell us about those experiences in working with and having an opportunity to be a part of the music scene with people like that as well.
Well, the opening stuff, a lot of that I did kind of in the first half of all of this. And, I got to meet people like that, which I had never met before. And I get to see how it all worked, and I get to see how the great ones put on a show, and then playing with John, we would tour with various people. He recorded a record in 2012 that had a bunch of different guest stars on it, some of those people that you mentioned. And, you're in the studio with them and you just doing your work like any other. I remember the first rock and roll show I ever went to was, Bob Seger, who I love. And he was, 82. I'm like 15 or whatever. I'm sitting in the rafters, in the cheap seats at Brendan Byrne Arena in New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. Brendan Byrne. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is now, I think it's gone now.
Yeah.
And they renamed it Continental Air, whatever. Anyway.
Right. There. Exactly.
We went to shows there or Madison Square Garden. Those worked. And, he walks into the room. Well, first of all, he was smoking. And I was like, fuck, it's smoke. And then I was, and he walks in the room and said, hey, man.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's Bob Seger. And I'm all kind of freaked out. And at that point, I'd met a lot of famous people, but he was one of my favorites. So he comes up and he's got his guitar and he's like, hey, man, what key is this song in? And I'm like, you're not supposed to ask me. You're supposed to tell me what key this song is. But from then on, it was just a normal working situation.
Right.
Yeah. And the best one, though, was getting the call to play with Ringo, which was just totally out. I was at a show in LA that I was playing, and it was in the middle of this excruciating sound check. I mean, the sound guy was just really bad, and they had a new board, and he didn't know what he was doing, and it was a lot of artists. It was like tons and tons of moving parts. It was the worst case scenario, and I'm just miserable sitting at this thing, and my ears are ringing, and I'm backstage taking a rest, and I get a message from Bruce Sugar, this great engineer that he worked on my Mojo Deluxe record. And he does all the engineering for Ringo. And he calls me up and he's like, hey, man, you want to do a session with Ringo? Like for him, it's an everyday occurrence. But for me, a big Beatles freak, I was, I never thought I'd get to play with one of those guys. And anyway, I was like, maybe, what's it pay? No, I didn't say any of that. And he goes, it's Monday, and it's at Ringo's house. So he sends me the address, and I went over there and pulled up the long driveway and pulled in. It was the big Peace and Love sculpture was there in a driveway, and I walked past the pool into the wing of the house that had the recording studio in it. And Ringo was there, and the engineer was there, and he was this, super nice guy. I think he knows that. Big rock stars who came after the Beatles are in awe of the Beatles in a way that they're not of other rock and roll stars. So, little old me, definitely, he just knew how to put you at ease, and be very, anyway, it was great. It was a great time working on that track. And then I got home and I had some work I was supposed to do. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing anything else today. I just got back from Ringo's house. I'm not. And my friend, my close friend who does all my album graphics, he's a huge Beatles fan. He's like 10 years older than me, so he actually grew up with them. And he's like, get me a picture of just some normal mundane thing at his house, right? So I went in the bathroom and I took a picture of the bathroom. He's like, oh, it's Ringo's bathroom.
That's the stuff, the behind the scenes stuff everybody wants to know about,
yeah,
right?
I know, yeah. One of many bathrooms in the house, but
look nice. Inside the refrigerator. What's in the refrigerator?
Right. Yeah, I didn't go and look inside the refrigerator.
A couple of people have asked this question, which is kind of cool. Have you ever toured Canada?
I have not toured Canada solo. It's never happened. I've never been able to work it out. I've toured Canada with John tons. He's huge in Canada.
Yeah.
And we've done several like end-to-end Canadian tours. But I really want to go up there solo. It's one of the last kind of places I should be playing that I have not yet played. And, it'll happen. A lot of stuff has happened to me when I least expect it or when I just stop thinking about it.
Right. That's what everybody says. Seems to be the theme this week with all the guests. They've all been saying that. Like sometimes when you overthink things, it sort of creates blockages and it gets in the way. And as opposed to just doing it and living the moment as it's happening, it seems
Yeah.
more liberating. It's a lot freer, isn't it?
I was 44 when I got that John Fogerty gig, you know. I really at that point figured that what I was doing was it. And that's, you know, and I was fine with it. It was cool, but I didn't expect to get something like that that changed my whole career around. You know, at that age, and now I'm like, I was so young then. I was only 44.
Well, it's not.
I was just a kid.
It's not that long ago, right?
It was 10 years ago. Yeah, every decade. See, you know. The decade before seemed so young, you know.
And the kind of years that the last 10 years has been a little strange. So yeah, I think everybody has aged in the last 10 years. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's been one of those decades.
People are asking also about that beautiful piano that you have in front of us there in front of you. Tell us about it.
You know, I mean, it's good pianos are costly. Like a good Yamaha Grand is, you know, 7-foot Grand or whatever that's like a $40,000 instrument. A Steinway can run you like $100,000. I didn't have that much money when I went to buy this, and so I got it narrowed down to a couple of. So it's a Falcone. It's not like a famous brand or anything, but it's I got it narrowed down to a couple of pianos, and I didn't want a white piano either, which is funny now because it goes so perfectly with this apartment that now, like, everyone of course thinks that I totally planned that, but I was able to get a better sounding I was able to get a better piano for less money in white than to get it in black, because white was a less popular color. So I was able to get a much better piano because I by getting the white one, you know. And so this is the one that I got.
Doesn't it work that way with limos too?
Probably, yeah. White limos, you know, they're for proms, you know. Right. But the white piano worked out, of course, and it does really go well. Goes nice with everything. So this wall color was already, you know, we had the place. We moved in as a brand new condo when we moved in, so we had it.
Your mic muted again, so you might want to hit the piano or something because it muted the microphone. So you can hear me, right? So give us a thumbs up. You can hear me. There he goes. Well, you know what we're going to do while he's figuring that out. Something is triggering the mic on his end to mute. We've got another cool video here. We're going to play it, and then when we come back, we'll talk with him about it.
My friends and I, we're not doing that well. Mostly we keep it in. We don't suffer and tell. And my friends and I, we've seen the road get rough. Some of us have made it through. Some of us weren't strong enough, and oh, so hard to say goodbye. It's so hard, but still we try. So forgive me if I've been unkind. We're going through it, all my friends and I. My friends and I, well, we're sisters and we're brothers. never fit in anywhere until we found each other. And my friends and I, misfits and broken toys, brave faces on the outside, inside just frightened girls and boys. And oh, so hard to say goodbye. It's so hard, but still we try. So forgive me if I've been unkind. We're going through it, all my friends, and I can't help it. I am falling apart. I turn it invisible halfway done before I start. And I should know that the time to change is now. I should go quietly, but I don't know how. My friends and I, we've had a damn good run. Didn't know it at the time, only knew when it was done. And my friends and I, we've reached the time in our lives. Old lovers, pets and relatives, they're lining up to say goodbye. And oh, so hard to say goodbye. It's so hard, but still we tried. So forgive me if I've been unkind. We're going through it, all my friends and I. Thank you, friends.
That's really nice, my friend. That's really, really nice. Tell us about the back of that one.
I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. Can you hear me? You can hear me.
After all
because you
that-
reacted to that. I don't know what's going on over here today. Something.
It's strange, huh? Something's in the air.
How do we get your
Something's
sound
in the-
back before?
You played a song on the piano. You
Yeah,
played
you want
on-
me to play? Yeah.
I think that might be what it is. It might be
Okay.
the trick. Yeah.
Here we go.
A good reason for you to have to play again. I hope our lovelies are having fun with us. Live. Whoa. Jingle bells, everybody. Jingle bells. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. That is awesome. That is fantastic. Can you hear it now?
I can hear you.
It's whenever you play, it's got a vibration. Maybe
I know.
of
Yeah. I don't know.
that piano wants to be played, I guess.
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, enough talking.
Everybody is loving that version. Is that version available on CD or anything?
Yeah, that's on my Christmas album, the Christmas collection.
So there's
I
instrumental.
arranged it. Yeah, I just did an arrangement of it. I was like, why does Jingle Bells always have to suck? Like, can it be nice? You know?
Right,
So
right, exactly. So is the album predominantly instrumental, or is there instrumental?
No, that's the only instrumental on it. The rest is songs. Like the Grinch is on there. That other one that you played is on there.
Yeah.
You know, there's Please Come Home for Christmas is on there. You know, bells will be ringing, sad news. You know, that kind of stuff. So
that was good.
Yeah, you know.
The crowd's going woo-hoo from Kathy Short in Cleveland and Bernadette. Jill Jason here says, your talent, your passion, your brilliance seems effortless. Absolutely. Merry Christmas to you and yours from Canada. And Merlin, jingle bells, jingle bells. Let's see, jingle bells, like Bob's version. We love Christmas songs in Lovely Hall. This is beautiful. Kathleen in New York. Really nice, cool stuff. It just shows your versatility, Bob. You know, and you can just play on the spot like that. Singing along makes me want to have a Christmas party and have you come play so we can have a sing along.
All right, you know.
That's Maureen.
If the check is right, you know.
The check is right. That's it. And you make hot cocoa, he's good to go.
Yeah.
So, where are some venues that you have yet to play, whether solo or with John Fogerty and the band, that are dream places for you, Bob, that remain?
Oh, you know, Carnegie Hall. That's one big you haven't played yet. We've done Radio City a couple of times, and we played the Hollywood Bowl. Those are all with John, you know. But I'd like to play at Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall, absolutely. Yeah. I've had an opportunity to MC there several times, and there is something about when you're on stage and you're looking out at that audience. It's
you know, it's
tough to match that. Right. Tough to match that. What about places overseas?
Overseas.
Royal Albert Hall or
Royal Albert Hall. I haven't played there yet. I'd like to play there.
Or the Sydney Opera House there in Australia.
Yes, Sydney Opera House. I would love to play that place. Played a
Yeah.
lot in Australia. I've toured there solo 7 times and 1 time with John. And yeah, Sydney Opera House, just iconic.
You were starting to tell us about the song about my friends, but we couldn't hear you. Tell us about that song we played earlier.
Oh,
That
my
re-
friends and I.
That's a
Yeah,
great song.
oh, thanks. Yeah, it was. You know, our one of our cats had just died, and a friend of ours. You know, we were like 50. A friend of ours had cancer, and it was just
Everything at once.
yeah, it was just a sad time. And you know, we all. I think the other thing is, you know, we try to present ourselves as happy to other people.
Yes,
You get online, right? And everyone tends to present their happiest self.
exactly.
Like I don't really share my personal life too much on
Right.
social media. A lot of people do, but I'm like, it's none of your business.
You're better off not, actually.
So I
Yeah.
just show career stuff, and it looks like, you know, all I'm doing is having a great time traveling around the world, you know, living the dream, quote unquote. So there's none of the existential angst or anything else. Yeah, that's in the
Or,
songs, but otherwise,
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
talk about it. So
Right,
that went
right.
in, all that went into that song. You know, that's the me that I don't publicly present, present,
Yeah.
so to
Yeah.
speak. But it's you know, and like any song like that, you know, it's not just me, it's everybody, right? We all have those feelings. I mean, I feel like to write a good song, it has to be personal, but yet everybody else has to be like, yeah, that's how I feel, you know. If it's just about how you feel, it doesn't matter, you know. But I kind of felt that we were all going through a thing, and a lot of my friends of my age, you know, we were all just going through that kind of middle-aged thing, you know. So
Losses and family
yeah, you
aging
know,
and
it's like your
yeah,
family's getting it right.
older
A
and
lot of the people you knew
or
when you were
ill
young
or
are now
gone.
just, some of them are, you know, they're not yet. Some are, yeah. It's anyway. That's what it was about.
What are some other things, Bob? Because your music is fantastic, and you got so much heart and soul. It's easy to see why, you know, John Fogerty had you come into the band because of your expertise as a, you know, keyboard player, and you're a team player and you're super talented. But in some of your own work as a singer, as a songwriter, you really, it's just seems maybe to some of the folks that are discovering, maybe they know all of your stuff, but now they're seeing you for the first time and like, oh my God, he's that guy. You really like to have stuff that's created that leaves an impact, makes us think, that makes us feel deeply about life, huh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I work hard on. Yeah, I try to really write a good lyric, you know, and I think I'm extra focused on that because I can really play, and when you can really play, you can always just show off and turn in kind of a mediocre to bad lyric, and nobody really cares because, you know, you're ripping, you're putting on a good show, and you're flipping your hair, and I do all that, you know. But combined with, I'm like, I don't want to lean on that. I want the song to come first, and to be good, and to mean something to people. So a lot of it is that, you know, and I just put a lot of thought into it if I can. And some of them come fast, some of them take a long time.
We had, I had the pleasure of interviewing a couple of weeks ago, Melissa Manchester,
Yeah.
and she was talking about some of her process when it comes to being inspired with aha moments that happen. And for her, we had a guest on last night that said he pretty much has to do the same thing. There may be anything that goes on during the day or something that happens. You could be sound asleep and then you have a dream or whatever it is. But whenever they get like this inspiration and this vision, this feeling, this sensation, this energy to want to create something, they have to, like Melissa said, she has to run right to the piano and she has to set up like a tape recorder, and she's got to get down what just was created and thought about in her head, get it down on the piano and get it recorded so it's fresh. It's fresh as it's being thought about, because if you wait, every minute you wait, every hour you wait, it starts to weaken, it starts to disappear and dissipate. And what that aha moment brainstorm was that you just had is gone. Do you do that too when you're?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because a lot of those moments are your most truly original thoughts and or ideas. And if they sit around fermenting for a while, they'll turn into something that you've thought too much about, you've overthought. It becomes less original, it becomes less impactful, or you just forget it, you know. So yeah, I like sing into my phone, you know, my the voice recorder thing.
Yeah.
Or I'll go, you know, if I'm on the road, you know, that's what I do. If I'm home, I go to the piano, and I'll either, like, if I have musical ideas, sometimes, like, I get musical ideas at weird times. Like I'm sitting around and waiting for sound check to start, and I'm just sitting at the piano noodling, and often in that absent-minded moment, I'll come up with something really cool because I'm totally not even thinking. So I got stuff like that ends up later on, get like the intro to you know. That was just something. I was in a bad mood and I was at sound check, and I just started playing that over and over again. They were my sad chords with the upper structure triad.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So, and that became the beginning of that whole thing. For example, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to get it down in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, I have a little notebook. It's right here, just in case. You know, I'd say most of my new record is in here. There's like 6 pages of My Friends and I. It's right here. Here's the first attempt with half of it crossed out. There's another attempt where a good line happened and it ended up getting written over here, and then half of it got crossed out. Nothing. Still working on this song. So, you know, it's like that.
How do you know when a song is finished? How do you know when you're good with it, you're comfortable with it, you've hit the mark and you're going to leave it alone as opposed to keep going back and playing with it?
Well, because you know, there's a little voice inside of you that it can be overly critical, but
yeah,
at its best, it's the voice that tells you when you're bullshitting yourself about whether it's good or not, or whether it's actually good. So usually that voice will, when it all falls into place at the end, that voice falls silent. And there's that part of me that feels like I can go out on stage and play the song and feel good about it. And the vulnerable ones like that are always scary. I'm like, I get to the end, I'm like, I'm not going to sing about that in front of other people. Of course, those are the ones people like the best.
Yeah,
because it's also about them. And that's when you know, I think early on I wrote a lot of songs where they weren't good. They were, and I would convince myself that they were good. And that little voice was like, this isn't that good. That it's done and you want to do it. It's got some fancy stuff in it that's cool, but it's not really a good song. And you know that, but I used to just override it. When I started listening to the voice, not the one that, there's the other voice is the one that gives me imposter syndrome and starts yelling at me right before I go on stage. And who are you to think you can get up here and do this? And, that voice is useless.
Right.
Although it does help me put on a good show, because the minute I get on stage, I'm happy, I'm in control, I'm going to do a good show. But if I'm not feeling bad about myself right before I go on, I'm never as good.
Are you difficult on yourself? Are you a perfectionist?
Yeah, I'm really difficult on myself.
Yeah.
I give myself no excuses.
Yeah. You're your own worst critic.
Like,
which
right now, all I'm thinking about is what I've done wrong here today. That's
Zero.
I'll be
You've done
worrying
well.
about it. I missed some notes. I forgot a couple lyrics, a couple of notes were out of tune. I'll be thinking about those, all day. But then tomorrow I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. So do you go to parties with people, and then when you're in the car, review the party that you just came from, saying, maybe I should have talked to Bob a little longer. Why didn't we say hi to Judy?
Yes, of course. I might be. Yeah.
I
First of all,
I do that too.
I hate parties because
Yeah.
it's like very awkward for me to go just to parties and talk to people. I'm an introvert. Like I've become very good at it. You would never know. But it was a very learned skill and it wears me out. Like I got maybe an hour of doing that. And then all my brain cells are like this. I can't do this any longer. It's different with a bunch of people I know, but the typical party scene where you don't know everybody, or you just kind of, and they're like, so what do you do? And then I have to explain that I'm
The
a
same
musician.
questions over
And
and
it's just,
over.
you can't really explain, right? Your job, same thing. You can't really explain it to people.
No.
It became a million times easier when I started to play with famous people, because you can just say, I play with fill in the blank famous person, and you're immediately valid. Whereas before, if they hadn't heard of you, you just weren't valid. You were, you were a loser. And does your wife support you?
Yeah.
That was immediately. It didn't matter what your career was that they hadn't heard of you from.
Yeah.
So it's gotten easier to go to parties.
It's gotten easier, definitely.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm not a big But yes, I will just go over all the things I said did wrong. So
what
that's
about
who I am.
when you went back home, to where you grew up, with all of this fanfare and all this cool stuff that's happened? What was that like? The very first time you returned to your roots and people realized, the incredible successes that have come your way due to the hard work, the timing, the right place, stamina, all those things. But when you went back to where you came from, those roots, what was that like?
It was good. I had some really good friends in high school, but overall, I was a really unpopular kid. And, I was that nerd with the glasses who got picked on and got the books knocked out and
were you good in math and
by
science?
the others. I was I was just kind of a weird kid, and the other, I was an only child too. So I had a much better vocabulary because I just talked to adults all the time. I was used to it. And I read a lot, and all that was a recipe for disaster in like grade school and junior high. Nobody liked me, High school, finally found my little group of friends, and we were all pretty much weirdos. And so going back was, there was a couple of cool things. Maybe 5 years ago, I guess, I got invited to go back to my I did this a couple of times. The last time I did it is probably the last time I'll ever do it, because the choir director, who was the teacher when I was there in the 80s, was still there 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, whatever it was. And he was retiring that year. So he had me come in. And the band director, who long since retired, had me come in maybe 10 years before that. And I talked to the kids, and they didn't know me from before. And they were it was just really cool to show them what I had done, and more to talk about music and point out that what matters is that you love to play. Like success in various degrees happens or it doesn't happen. A lot of it's out of your control. You can get a certain amount of success by working really hard and being talented, but the stuff beyond that, there's luck involved, there's people skills involved, there's a lot of factors just out of your control that things happen, and if you happen to be the right guy at the right time, then it'll happen for you, and you don't blow it when it happens. There's a million little factors. So I talked about that stuff to the kids and played for them. And those teachers, both of those, the band and choir director at that school, they were incredibly helpful to me. Like I could not have done this without them, and it was great going back there. And I remember the last time I went back, I put on a little show in the auditorium for the kids. Same auditorium I played in when I was, in high school, right? They had gotten a new piano, so that was good. But otherwise, it was the same, and a couple of funny. So they had a lot of interesting questions, and then a couple of funny things happened after they. So the principal of my old school was actually a guy I went to high school with. So they were all like, "There's no way you guys went to school together. He looks way older than you." That's because you guys aged him,
Right.
And then they went running. There was all the yearbooks were like on a shelf somewhere for all the years the school had been open. So they ran, and a couple of the kids ran and got the class of '84 school, yearbook. And they're like, what was up with the hair? And I'm like, I know. It's just terrible hair back then, And then a woman I had gone to school with was the art teacher there. And this was the best part of all. I walked into her class, and there was a huge mural of the cover of my latest album. The kids had drawn, that was their project, was drawing this big, it was a canvas. It was big of me. I may have been a picture of me along with the album cover, something like that. I have it in my phone somewhere. Anyway, that was incredibly touching. Like that they did that, and she remembered me, and that was a really, really great moment, that bit. So that was the last time I was there.
That's amazing.
2016, I think it was.
It was 2016, yeah, about 4 years ago or so.
Yeah,
that was cool until you walk in there, and then again that big, picture of you on the wall. So do you like to talk to the youth? Because they look up.
I do.
They look up to inspire them, mentor them.
Yeah, they're a tough crowd, and the best way to talk to them is just talk to them like, do not try to be cool, like what you think they think is cool. They think you're cool if you just are yourself.
Right.
And don't talk to them like kids. Talk to them like normal, like you talk to anybody else. Or at least that's what I do. They like that. They don't like to feel like they're being talked down to, or you're assuming they don't know anything. I mean, there is a lot they don't know, and I'm always surprised by it. I forget. I don't think of anything about my life as being that unusual, although it is to a lot of people. It's just life. So I'll be talking about what to me is just my day-to-day experience, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's something they've dreamed of doing."
Yeah.
And it's something I dreamed of doing back then, but I don't think about it that way anymore. It's my job now. I mean, I love it, but you know how it is. You now are questing to be good at it, and it's your profession. So it feels a whole different way than it felt then. And I like talking to them. You'll always get, most kids are not going to go on to try to do this, but there's always that one, I was that one. That's why my teachers paid extra attention to me. They knew that I was going to dedicate my life to this. And so you always see this breakthrough with a couple of those kids who they really want to do this, but they don't really know how. They haven't yet. I came from a pretty small town. I was in New Jersey. It was an hour from New York City, but it was a small town. It wasn't like we knew a lot of people who played, who were musicians and toured and all. We didn't know people like that. So you can see what a huge thing it was for them to meet somebody who's just doing what they want to do. It gives them a perspective. It makes them feel like it's possible, because I'm just some guy from their town who did it, and that's the best part, is when you have that breakthrough with somebody who wants to do it. They're not sure how to start, they have talent, and and I went through that whole process myself. I didn't know what to do or how to start, and just felt my way through it.
I've asked this question as far as people saying, about like, what was their big break and those kinds of questions every once in a while. And even the most seasoned of people will oftentimes answer, I'm actually still waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, I don't feel like I've had my big break yet. You know what I mean?
Right, that's what they
It's been
say.
a series of little breaks. I mean, over the course, even before Fogarty, I had really gone from zero to successful in a way that I didn't see. Every year was incremental. It was small steps. Cool little things would happen along the way. There'd be long stretches of nothing happening and just me like slogging it out in a van on the road for 200 nights a year, and just, it was all work to me. I loved my work. So I didn't really even think about, God, well, if this doesn't work out in 2 years, I'm going to quit. It was never like that. It was just like, this is what I do. And at whatever level I'm doing it at, that's the level I'm doing it at. And I'm not really thinking about that. Like if I would get to play, a 100-seat room where it was full of people who knew all my songs and were hanging on every word and were fans. And it was all, small time. But it was great. It was people who loved my songs, because I started out playing cover tunes in bars 4 sets a night. And, I hated that. At first I loved it because I was playing music. I didn't care what it was, but they don't come to see you at a thing like that. They're just there to hear tunes by other people. You're just a vessel, and so to be playing my stuff for people who loved it, no matter how small of a crowd it was, that to me I was totally happy with that. I'm still totally happy with that,
Yeah.
If it gets huge, like there's anybody who's gotten huge, no matter how great they are, they'll tell you how a lot of things fell into place that were out of their control that made it possible. They were going to get somewhere because they were great. Like John Fogerty was going to get somewhere because he wrote those amazing songs and he had that voice, but he's like, it got really huge because it was the right time. A lot of stuff happened, and that's the tale for everyone, not just him. Everybody will tell you that they all worked really hard, and what every famous person I've worked with has in common is they're the hardest working people that I've ever met. I mean, they just don't let up, So,
would you say you're like that to a degree?
Yeah, everyone says I am, but I always feel like I could be doing more. So probably I am.
It's probably what drives you.
Among other musicians, I was always the guy that they were like, geez, that guy never lets up. He stops. He's not. But I'm like, no, I'm kind of lazy. I could be doing more. Every second that I'm not doing something, I'm like, I could be doing more. I haven't gotten all the way there yet. I'm not done yet. Shit, I'm 55. I'm running out of time. I have to do this. That's what's always going in my brain. I've never sat and thought, it's so awesome to be me.
Yeah.
Maybe for 5 minutes after something real big.
After something real big. Exactly.
Yeah. I'll be like, okay, I noticeably accomplished something tonight.
Yeah. Right. Milestone. Songwriting, performing. Does one outweigh the other, or are they equal for you in terms of the inner pleasure you get from being a singer and a performer as much as the one creating the material and being that songwriter and producer?
Songwriting is the most gratifying. Well, I don't know about the most gratifying. It's really hard work and you try to avoid it until you dig into it and then you can't stop.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, the two great feelings for me, one is having finished a great song, or what I think is a great song anyway. Or what is the best that I can do for a song. Let's put it that way. That never gets old, because you've created some new thing that wasn't there before. And then playing live for people is the other great feeling, when you're really connecting with the crowd and you know that you're making people feel good. Like I'll do my show and people will come up after and like, oh, I had a terrible day. I'm really depressed and blah, blah, blah. And now I feel better because you made me feel better. And like, that is the whole point of doing this. And that is a great feeling. You can, if you've been on the road for a while and doing your set every night, you can get burnt. You can start feeling like a performing seal. You can definitely get sick of hearing yourself. And you definitely get sick of traveling. And it really wears you out. But you never get sick of the look on people's faces when you know you've connected with them and you're making them feel good. And something you wrote actually is making them feel something, because it was just something that was in your head.
Right.
And then maybe you just played it at home, but eventually it becomes something that somebody knows about out there and you don't even know they know about it.
Exactly.
And it means something to them. So that's all. Those are great feelings.
You want to segue into playing something that you created that has inspired you in such a way, Bob?
Yeah. I think I might play my most depressing Christmas song ever.
What's the title?
Sad on Christmas.
All right.
It was all real. And
what inspired you to write it? What was happening in your world when you wrote this?
I was just, depressed. I actually love the holidays and I love Christmas, but sometimes you feel pressured to be happy when really you're just not happy.
Right.
And that was basically it. And also, I knew people. It's also kind of about other people. Like I know people who are like, I'm lucky I have a wife and, people to share it with, but I know people who are alone.
Especially now with this year.
Yeah. And right now we're all isolated. Like people
can't see our families, can't do anything.
Yeah. Being alone at this time of year is really rough on a person, I think. So part of it was that people had died, and they're not there now. And it really, anyway.
Yeah.
Here I am again. Christmas time is closing in. It's just me and the tree. Lights so lovely, but no one else will see. And I'm desperately trying to not be sad on Christmas. And here we are once more. This is so much harder than it ever was before. I'll get through the morning at most, going through the motions, surrounded by ghosts. And I'm desperately trying to not be sad on Christmas. I spend all of my money me and more. I don't feel any better than I did before. I've lost my faith and my will. Lord, send me a sign when the night is still. I hope you will.
That is a sad song because he faded to black. I mean, how much more sadder can you get than fading to black during a song like that? Hopefully he'll come back. That was a beautiful song, wasn't it? I know you're dying like I am to hear the rest of it. He's very talented, wouldn't you say? He really, again, he's very relatable how he's opening up about his life too. And you can see that the music that he pens and he shares with everybody now is from his experiences in life. And he's just been sharing that with us all evening long live here on the show. He's probably right now, could you imagine what he's actually saying? We probably wouldn't want to be able to hear that on the air. He's probably really dun 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 dun. What happened? Where'd I go? I'm in the middle of my sad Christmas song, and whoosh. Welcome to the world of the internet. It's got a mind of its own. It has a mind of its own. But I'm here and you're here. We're good. Our signal's not crossed. Hopefully he'll come back. That was a quick exit. But it was a really, really beautiful song, wasn't it? You had your Sharon Blackmar had her eyes closed, which made the room black, which then led to Fade to Black. Sharon Blackmar. I had my eyes closed listening, and then darn, it was beautiful. I know. Really amazing. Thank you for bringing Bob to us. Love him. Yes, he's coming back. He's halfway there. Here he comes. You're almost there, Bob. I see you got the screen back. There you are, Bob. There you are.
All right. You know what? My computer battery died. I forgot to plug it in. Total amateur. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Right? Did I lose you at the end of the bridge?
Actually, they love that song, and they had their eyes closed, and then they were listening.
And then I ruined the whole
and then it faded to black.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. Hey, are you kidding? That's life.
I'm on my iPad now, and
yeah.
You know, the light is not great, but anyway.
Hey, it's crazy. You're alive and you're breathing in 2020. You're ahead of the game, right?
I know. That's all you can hope for. Anyway, sorry about that.
So how does that song finish off, or how does it there's the comments are unbelievable. Sad Christmas song, Jen is Zen, and Bob, you are mega talented. This song, although melancholy, makes us appreciate all the good things in our lives, like the lovities here tonight. Hearts and prayers from Kathleen. Jennifer says, sad Christmas song, Jen is Zen. Amen. Love it. Such a relatable song. They said that you're such a humble yet great artist. Sometimes those are the best kind. Very refreshing. More comments coming in here. I had my eyes closed listening. Darn, it was beautiful. Well, that's a cool spot. You got a candle set up? Yeah.
Same spot, basically. Just no
just on the other side of the piano.
You can hear me, right?
Oh yeah,
right,
absolutely.
So you want me to finish? Where was I at the end of the bridge?
You want to start at the beginning? You want to just share it again? It's so beautiful. I mean, if you want to do it again, go ahead. If the flow means, if you would rather have the full flow of it versus coming in at the end.
Oh, I don't, let's see.
And is that on a CD? Was that on a CD where people
That's
can
on the
get that?
Christmas record.
Wow, that Christmas record is unbelievable. There's so much great
I'm
material
really
on
happy
there.
about it. I'm proud
Yeah,
of myself.
the variety is
Yeah.
incredible. The variety is incredible that you've got on there. Absolutely, Bob. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, that way they hear they get it's one of those things that brings you in where you don't want to sort of like stop it or interrupt it or start in the middle. Maybe
I know.
if you wanted to.
Oh, hold on one second.
Sure, sure.
I just okay. Christmas time is closing in. It's just me and the tree. That's so lovely, but no one else will see. And I'm desperately trying, desperately trying, desperately trying to not be sad on Christmas. Here we are, once more. It's been time than ever did before. I get through the morning and most. Going through the oceans, surrounded by ghosts. And I'm desperately trying, desperately trying to not be sad on Christmas. I spend all of my money and more. I don't feel any better than I did before. I've lost my faith in my will. Lord, send me a sign when the night is still. I hope you will. Desperate tear fills the room. Hopefully unnoticed, I'll be leaving soon. Guess I'll try again next year. Maybe then the season won't fail me with fear. And I'm desperately trying, desperately trying to not be sad on Christmas. On Christmas. That's the whole thing.
That's really nice. And you know what? It was actually better with the camera angle the way it is and seeing your expressions and how
Oh, I'm close
involved
now.
and how and how involved you are with it. I mean, you're living and
I'd have to move
breathing.
that signal.
You,
That's totally amateur night for me over here.
This is- well, we get a nice tour of the house. Was that the Christmas tree behind you we just saw?
Your signal is, oh my God, it's just going.
You
Yeah,
look
that's
good. You
basically
sound
what's
good.
happening.
Everybody likes that mirror behind you on the wall. Yeah, that's cool.
We had this house decorated. Not that we have tons of money, but we got a deal. And because when we moved in here, they had a model apartment. We were like, man, this place looks great. We want our place to look just like this. And so this thing was in there, and she gave it to us as a parting gift. And it's pretty cool.
The viewers love it. Yeah, yeah. So it's a good size place there. You got room to grow and room to you do all your you have this like the studio in there. The studio is in the house.
I can't. Yeah, you're here. I'm gonna.
Can you could hear us now, right? It's one of those. I think I can. I think I can. I think he's trying to move around the house. See, this is where the host has to fill in the blanks. I've had this many times professionally too, where the guest goes away. There he is. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm getting a terrible signal from you.
Right
It's
where
just
you are
breaking
there.
up. Oh, there you are now. Okay.
There we
The
are.
problem is at the piano, I lose Wi-Fi.
Oh,
I was going. Yeah, I was. When I was doing it on my laptop before this all crashed, I was using. Had it directly wired, so I didn't have that problem. But so now when I sit at the piano, I can't. Your thing starts to break up because no one needs to hear this. I'm sorry. Anyway.
oh, no, everybody.
Am I the person having the most technical difficulties ever?
No.
Okay.
We
good.
had a guest once that received all the same information in advance that you received. And about not even 5 minutes, about a minute before the show was to go live, we were calling out to her. She wasn't answering her phone. Her daughter then tried to email us and reach us. And the guest wasn't even on the right streaming platform. She was sitting on Zoom, which has nothing to do with anything that we do. We don't use Zoom for this show. We don't use it. And she's just put herself on Zoom. And she didn't get on the show till about a half hour into the show, which required, and I'm on the cell phone live on the air, like giving them advice. No. You got to press this button. No, you have to get off Zoom and go on this. And it was like open heart surgery live. Then we had a guy actually the other night.
Anyway, I'm getting this whole breaking it up thing from you.
We had a guy on the other night that, as opposed to going on our streaming service, via the link we send you, he was sitting on the YouTube channel, looking at the YouTube channel saying, how come nothing's happening? And we're like, well, because the YouTube channel is just airing it, but you got to get in through the link. So you're actually ahead of the game. You got in.
All right.
It's just you're having trouble staying in. It's like a California earthquake.
Yeah.
So
I'm hearing.
So you're hearing every third word. So the audio was better by the piano.
What's that?
The audio was better by the piano.
No. There's something wrong with your signal over here. It's just like this. It's all clicking, and I can kind of make out words, but it's very difficult.
So I wonder if it's
Even after I restarted you.
Wonder if
So
there's
I'm
something.
kind of making out what you're saying, but kind
Are
of
you near a cell phone? Because cell phones can interfere.
I could try it on my here.
This is cool.
This is my final device.
This is behind the scenes with Bob Malone.
You want to go to one of my videos?
Are
we almost done talking?
I
All my battery, not that I don't like talking to you, but all my batteries are dying.
Oh my God! Even your internal batteries, right?
I'm definitely gonna go to. The
Well, I have to tell you,
I just want to
they
get a
said
good signal from you.
they're
Hold on,
actually they're liking this.
my ceiling.
The ceiling, yes, the ceiling is very nice. I see a spotlight in there. Or is that a sprinkler? Shades of Portugal. You do great, Jim. Yes, Portugal. Oh, not just Portugal, a lot of other places too. So if you wanted to see Bob's ceiling, here you go. Usually we end up with, and some of you know, we end up with an empty chair sometimes when a guest just has to get up and leave for a second for various reasons, or they go get a photo, or we had a guest go up the stairs. I think it was Sharon McKnight. I think she went up the stairs to pull a photo off the wall and then brought the photo live on. So there was an empty chair. Yeah, it's on his end. His batteries are dying, and it's a whole other. I think we'll have to add in the email, charged batteries. And there he is. Jennifer says she can hear us both clear as well. And yeah, everything's good on this end. And you're doing great at filling the empty time. Oh, I've had to do that so many times in my professional work on television and radio. Right. There was one time I had to fill 30 minutes live uninterrupted, and it was on PBS. I think he's trying another device. Here we go. I see another. There he goes.
God, it's still doing it. I'm getting a weird signal here.
Well, let's get rid of this one here. We're going to ban this one or kick this one.
All devices doing the same thing. It just sounds like.
So now it's better because you were.
It was clicking.
It was, but you look a lot better. It was echoing because you still had that other signal. So you're actually taking us.
Oh wait.
You're taking us on a tour of the house. It looks great. Tell us what we're seeing.
I know. I'm trying to find a good spot where I can hear you.
We see the Christmas tree.
Oh, it's doing it again. I have to find a sweet spot where your sound is good. Here's the tree. There's no ornaments on it because we have this cat who just wants to kill everything. We put like 3 ornaments up here, and he jumped this high and pulled one down. So we're like, okay, that's it. No ornaments this year. He's the worst. We love him. I don't have you anymore, but I can hear myself. If I'm on, hey everybody, sorry for the technical issues. We got a good hour in though before we lost.
We were saying, we were typing in here the crew behind the scenes at the Malones.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that what was going on? Here,
behind the scenes. Yeah.
Let's see. We can go down the hall. We might as well get the tour of the house. Let's see. Here's some album artwork on the walls. It's mostly me actually. Here in my office. Here's my record collection and books and CDs.
That is incredible. I love that.
People who really care. And then this is the wall. So that one video you played was from when I started doing my online shows in my office before I moved out to the fancy living room piano. And
yeah,
so
we could have had you. We could have had you do it.
I had them all on once, and it was the ticking was so loud in here that I just stopped.
The ticking.
Anyway, I'm getting no improvement on your signal, so I can't really communicate with you. Do you want to? You want me to do one more? You want to go to a video, or you want me to do one more song and kind of wrap it up or something?
Yeah, you could do another song. Yeah. The house is beautiful. Yeah, it's really, really nice. Everybody loves that office of yours too. Really, really nice. There you go. This is cool.
I'm on my third device now.
Good thing you have 3. Third time's the charm.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
so you won't get to. You won't get to see me play, but you'll hear.
Well, we can see it. Yeah.
Friend, yeah, just been me and you since way back when. I'm surrounded by people everywhere, but the cold wind blows through me like there's no one there. It ain't personal if I don't know your face. Need certain distance from the hole you've embraced. You can just connect me
raise. Ah, little girl, you want to take me in? Yeah. Put that cage around me, and I will never say I know you love me, but your love can never be. 'Cause I'm tired of you before you're tired of me. It ain't personal if I don't know your face. Be a certain distance from the whole human race. You can disconnect me from this time and place. Be a certain distance from the whole human race. Empathy, wish you could spare me some. I say not the whole world's problem, I just stay distant home. I appreciate your pain, maybe I really do. But I hate evils, honey, that's so on you. It ain't personal if I don't know your face. Be a certain distance from the whole human race. You can disconnect me from this time and place. Be a certain distance from the whole human race. I feel a certain distance from the whole human race. All right.
Wow.
It's the best I could do with my limited camera, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was good. And you moved it around so we could see the keyboard. We could see the keys too, right? As you were doing it live. That was cool.
Your signal is just, I can't understand anything you're saying.
Well, the
It's
main
just
thing
all
is that
it's just all this fluttery kind of sound that doesn't sound like anything.
you know what it is? Probably all the technology there and all the wiring and instruments and cell phones probably interfering maybe with the sometimes the audio and the cell phones, they cross. They're all on the same signal.
Happening on my other device too. It might be.
Well, I could tell you,
I don't know.
Here's some of that feedback. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing your talent with us. And you can see it on the screen there. And wonderful, Bob. Thanks so much. Mr. Loverty, singing, keep going. I want to hear you sing. Kathy Walker, claps and all kinds of keys. Thank you, Bob, for sharing your songs and talents with us. We appreciate your time. Looking forward to seeing you one day, probably in person too. Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Stay well. Bob, Sharon says, Bob is incredible. Ann says, thank you, Bob, for a delightful evening. Would love to see you perform live. We have amazing venues in Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville. All right.
Jacksonville. Yeah. Have had a wonderful time with you tonight, Bob. Thank you for being here. Please come back again very soon. Beautiful piano playing from Linda in St. Augustine, Florida. And from Juanita in South Africa. It's been a blast. Too funny. Merry Christmas to you and yours from Merlin in Canada. Live shows. Anything can happen. LOL from Kathleen Walker. Christine Clifton in North Carolina.
Exactly.
They love your office when you were in the office there. That's a cool office. Fabulous office. Thanks for showing us your home, your Christmas tree. All beautiful, enjoyable evening with Bob. All the stories and the music were great. Sherry says, loving this one, the one that you just did. What a great beat. Thank you for the tour. Lovely place. Try the laundry room. I guess maybe the laundry room would work. We actually had that with actress Clea Blackhurst. She had a problem with her signal in her New York City apartment. She ended up finishing the actual conversation in her laundry room, and then people were.
Oh, really?
She had a better signal downstairs in her laundry room, so people were asking her, "Okay, do you use fabric softener and all that stuff?" And she went with it. She rode with it. She said, "Yes, I actually use this fabric softener." It was hilarious. Clapping from Linda, on tour from Bernadette. Juanita says, this was great. Thank you, Bob, for your time, sharing your stories, amazing music. Keep safe and Merry Christmas. Christine Clifton says, this song has such soul and rhythm. Wow, that was fantastic. And Jill Jason, wonderful. Thank you for sharing your talent with us as well. Really cool. I think people got a good, even though with all the technical craziness, which happens, that's just the way life is. It's what you do with it that counts. And we're still here. And we're still standing, and you're still standing. You haven't hit the bar yet.
Yeah.
it's that might be next. I think you gave people in this period of time together, Bob, and I really, really appreciate your coming on. And it's a great time of the year because the songs that you picked, and even the ones we played from video, are so like representative of you and who you are, but also so like perfect for the times. The one you just played now, and Good People, and the Christmas one, and the sad one, and all of them, and the version of Jingle Bells. And it's showing people your amazing range and your super talent, because it was, I forgot what magazine or newspaper that said they actually described you as a keyboard wizard. And you really are. You really are. Wow, that's that's a great shot of the house behind you.
Oh yeah, it's the kitchen. If I stand right in this spot, I can hear you.
Boy, that would have been a great spot for the conversation, because it's such a phenomenal background too, with the tree. Look at that.
There you go. All right, everything looks good.
Your lighting is actually fantastic, and the background is great. You should do everything from there. Set it up there.
Oh, I lost you again. Anyway,
I
want to really thank all of you for being so nice.
Our pleasure.
For liking it, and for you for having me on. This was really fun. And I just got to say that, like, doing a 2-hour interview, if the interviewer is not really great, it is an excruciating experience. And I didn't even realize how long we'd been on. That's why my computer died. I forgot. I was like, anyway, it was a real pleasure.
I appreciate it.
All of you, come see me. Just go to bobmalone.com. All my stuff is there, and you can stay in touch. I'd love to stay in touch with all of you.
You are the very
really
best.
Nice people.
And I toast you, and you are welcome.
You're the good
back.
people that I'm talking about.
That's right. Exactly. And so are you. So are you, Bob. You're welcome back anytime. The door is always open. And I hope the show
I'll come back again, and I'll make sure everything's plugged in right.
And use that background, because that's nice. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed your time with me, as I certainly have with you, my friend. That's a yes. Take care. Have a good holiday. All right.
You too.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
A for effort. Bob, thank you for spending time with us. Happy holidays. Love your hat, Mr. Lovety. Thank you very much, Linda. have thoroughly enjoyed the show, even with the glitches. I know it's what you do with it, right? You know, if you have a flood in your bathroom, what are you going to do? Just look at the flood, or you're going to grab a wrench and towels and scoop up that water? You know, if you got a flat tire on the highway, what are you going to do? Just look at the flat tire, or try to change it, or, you know, call the house or call AAA. So you just go with it. And again, I'm fortunate because none of this rattles me, you know, when there's a glitch, because I've been in so many situations where glitches have been even bigger, where there's a lot of money on the line and it's a major television situation or radio situation or stage situation. And I'm usually always the person that's thrown out onto the stage or thrown out into the studio. Jim, go say something. Jim, go do something. I had once, I was mentioning before Bob came back, where I was, we were doing a live special on public television, and I was with the co-host, and the co-host was the program director of the television station, the PBS station. And they were showing like a 2-part British comedy, you know, all the Britcoms. And I think the people upstairs in Master Control in the TV studio realized that they had played part 2 instead of part 1. So when part 2 was ending, the credits were rolling, but people didn't see part 1 yet. So they were panicking. They didn't know what to do. They ran out of Master Control, ran all the way downstairs to the studio. I'm live on the air with my co-host, who's the actual programming director for the station. And we were actually doing a PBS pledge drive. So we were live, no commercials, no interruptions. And we were doing our segments and then we toss it back to the show. Well, this was a situation where there was no show to toss back to for people to watch at home, because they played part 2 instead of 1 first. 2 ended with credits, and they panicked and didn't know what to do. So they ran downstairs and tried to pull in the program director, and they were panicking, saying, what do we do? What do we do? So I'm on co-hosting with him, where I'm on full screen and I'm showing all these thank you gifts and the tote bag and the mug, and for your support, you can get this DVD and this CD and all of that for public television. And they pull my co-host out because he's the program director. They're looking for him to sort of figure out how to save the day, because we have no programming to go back to. We have to just keep talking until they figure out upstairs what to play next. So they pull him out, and the director in the ear, director and producer I've been friends with for years, she just says to me, Jim, keep going. Jim, vamp. Jim, say something. Just keep going, Jim. Just keep going. And they were handing me underneath the camera view. So like, there's the camera view underneath where you couldn't see it. All of a sudden, I'd have something new in my hand. And if you pledge $50, we have this, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden that disappeared, and somebody would be underneath where you couldn't see them. It wasn't in the eye line of the camera, and they'd hand me something and I'd be grabbing it, not even knowing what they were handing me, because I couldn't look down to see it because I'm looking at the camera talking. And I'm holding on to whatever the thing is, and I'm sort of feeling it, almost like it's Braille. I'm like, okay, that feels like it's a glass. Maybe for a $100 pledge, you get a glass that says the logo of the station or something. Oh, and we have this available as well. Oh, isn't it beautiful? It's crystal and it's shiny, and and all of a sudden, and they're handing me all of these things under the camera, and I'm just going at it and just talking, and you can hear like in the ear the chaos going on in the Master Control. And I was on, I think, about 40 minutes straight, nonstop, with no commercials, no breaks, nothing, filling time, but doing it in the way that was effective, because we were talking about, the show, and talking about the station, and talking about all the other cool things that, the station provides. And I'll just never forget that. And then eventually the program director came downstairs into the studio again, but well after like 45 minutes, and I couldn't leave. I couldn't walk off set. I couldn't say, okay, I'm done talking. I had to keep going and going and going and going, and just, there was no script. It was all ad lib. There was nothing. And you know what? People say that must have been hell. You must have been scared stiff. You must have been like freaking out inside. No, I loved it. You know why? Because it was the energy of doing it. It was live. It was they were depending on me to pull it out, save the day type thing. And I was doing everything, pulling all the stops, and thinking of everything and pitching every ball I can. And it was invigorating. It was cool. It really was. So I've had many times where things go glitchy. And I think maybe that's why I like live, because I'm good when things go wrong. And there is that element of anything can happen. I'm always calm, cool, and collected. Everything else and everybody else around me sometimes is always freaking out, and they're always panicking. And, oh my God, this happened. And I'm always tasked with going out there or going on the air, on radio, whatever, to smooth it all out, to make it look like it was all supposed to happen. See, I could easily say that the tour that Bob gave all of us of that house was something we planned, and it was a bonus extra Jim Master Show exclusive. It wasn't. But when I saw that he was having a lot of issues trying to get his signal, and he had to go to various places in his home to get a signal of any kind, and he's hearing and clicking and all these different sounds, I said, what the heck? He's walking around the house. Why don't we turn it into a tour behind the scenes of the Malones? So that's sort of like that thinking on the feet quickly, responding to what I'm seeing as it's happening, and then turning it in, taking a lemon and turning it into lemonade as it's happening. All right, he's walking around with he tried the laptop, and it was having problems because of the signal, probably from his equipment with the piano, and it lasted, but then he didn't charge the battery, so his battery died in the middle of a sad song. So then he regrouped, and I was vamping, and then he had to get another piece of equipment, but then that was killing out, and then he had the face too close, and it was just funny. And then he got the last thing, I think, was the cell phone, because usually when you get that tight shot with the black on each side, that means they're using this is full screen. We're using computers and cameras. But when you see that shot like that of the person, it usually means they're using a phone. And that's why sometimes you see them go like this, and it's like you're on a cruise ship that's rocking in the Atlantic Ocean. And that was cool, huh? Maybe I should start all my shows that way. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show, where anything can happen. I should have had him play Anything Goes. Anything goes. But so then when he was walking around the house, I said, you know what? Why don't we do a tour? You're in the house. We got all this cool stuff happening behind you. Why don't we just run with it, and let's make it a tour of the behind the scenes of the Malones. So you got a tour, actually, a little bonus there of his office. And the last shot where he was holding the phone, the lighting on him was the best. And the view behind him of the piano and the tree and all that probably would have been better. That would have been the best spot. But I think he wanted to see, because he's a keyboard wizard. He's a master on the keyboard. So he wanted to see him doing his thing. So that was a hoot, a real workout for him and me. But darn good, wasn't it? It was good. I mean, it was energetic. It was fun. He opened up about his life. He got really deep about his life when he was a kid, and how he thinks about life. He shared some great music, Christmas music, rock, standard. I mean, really good stuff, a great variety. He's very talented. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. We've got an amazing guest tomorrow. First, let's take a look at some of the comments. I think Jim himself is handsome along with his hat, Slancha. Thank you very much. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. You're the master, Jim. You're good at doing live shows. I always love live, the challenge of live. It's like a sport to me. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, love it ease. Oh, I want to let you know, we have some amazing people coming up. Luke McMaster, who's an amazing Canadian R&B singer, soul artist. He's going to be here on Monday night. That was just booked today. That's right. And then we have Michael Londrin. He's going to be here too. He is a very, very well-known Irish singer-songwriter. He's going to be here on Sunday night. And then we also have, originally from Celtic Thunder, singer, songwriter, musician, harpist, Orla Fallon is going to be here on Sunday afternoon, which is unbelievable. These three major talents were just booked on our show today, all three. So Orla Fallon is going to be with us on Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern. Michael Londrin, he's going to be here on Sunday night. And he had a PBS special. He's renowned. He's fantastic. He's going to perform live as well. So is Orla Fallon, who used to be with Celtic Woman, that is. I know I've been saying Celtic Thunder a lot lately with the guys on the show. Celtic Woman. She was with Celtic Woman. She has a brilliant solo career. She's going to be here Sunday afternoon. This just got confirmed today, all three, with Orla Fallon from Ireland, live from Ireland, 3 p.m. Eastern on, it'll be 8 p.m. her time, 3 p.m. Eastern here, and noon Pacific on Sunday. And then Sunday night, Michael Londrin's going to be here, fabulous and famous Irish singer-songwriter. And then on Monday, live from Canada, we have Canadian R&B soul singer-songwriter Luke McMaster. And he is amazingly popular. And as soon as I posted that they're all going to be here, you guys are very excited about it. This has been a wonderful evening. Thank you, Bob, for sharing your amazing talent and opening your home to us. Bob, thank you so much. You're so cool. Bob, thanks for spending time with us. Have thoroughly enjoyed this show, even with the glitches. Me too. This has been a wonderful evening. Thank you very much, Maureen. Another amazing evening, Jim. Thanks for making all of this possible. We love you. We love you back, Jill. Love you guys back. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all the Lovedies. Thank you as well. Great night. Thank you very much, Kathleen, as well. Marilyn, you too. And I want to show you tomorrow night, we have somebody really amazing that's going to be on the show tomorrow. We've got coming up in January, Nathan Carter is going to be with us. He's a brilliant English country music star. Darren Holden is going to be with us on Saturday afternoon. Sir James Galway and Lady Jean Galway are going to be with us here on Friday afternoon. They're all excited. They're going to be live from Switzerland, actually live from Switzerland. He is renowned. He's sold over 30 million albums. In January, international Greek singer Mario Frangoulis is going to be with us. Yeah. This Friday night, from Jersey Boys and so much more, actor and singer and performer J. Robert Spencer is going to be here. That's right. Now, tomorrow night, we've got an amazing guest. The one and only mezzo-soprano Celia Burke is going to be here live tomorrow, and she's going to perform live. She's going to be with us. Jeff Whiting, who we were going to have on in the afternoon, is going to be on in January. So stay tuned for that. We had to reschedule that. So that's going to be in January. The choreographer and director, he's brilliant. We're going to have him on in January. So as soon as we have the date confirmed, we will let you know. And on Thursday, Lily Rolquin is going to be with us. She's a fantastic singer and songwriter. Lots of music this month, lots of holiday spirit, holiday merriment and music, it seems, coming your way. We thank Bob Malone for joining us here on the show, renowned keyboardist, working with John Fogerty, of course, and singer and songwriter. We had a ball with him. So, again, Celia Burke is tomorrow, Lily Rolquin, all singers, songwriters, and more. That's Thursday. Then on Friday, Sir James Galway and Lady Jean Galway, renowned flautists, are going to be with us for a very special birthday show and holiday show on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. GMT. Then on Friday night, from Jersey Boys and so much more, television, film, Broadway, J. Robert Spencer, great actor and singer, is going to be with us as well. That's on Friday. Then on Saturday afternoon, live from Ireland, originally with the Riverdance and the High Kings, Darren Holden is going to be with us as well. And then on Sunday, Orla Fallon, who was with Celtic Woman, is going to be with us Sunday afternoon. Michael Londrin is going to be with us. He's a brilliant Irish singer-songwriter. He's going to be with us, and he's here in the States right now, in the United States. So that'll be 7 p.m. Eastern. A lot of shows, a lot of work. And then we're going to collapse next week. And then on Monday, Luke McMaster. He's a very popular Canadian singer, songwriter, soul, contemporary soul, R&B, and so much more. And he's going to be with us on Monday. Orla, Michael, and Luke just booked today We confirmed all of it today and we posted it on our Facebook page at Jim Masters TV. Good night, everyone. Please stay safe, stay well. You as well. Thanks again. My pleasure. It was a great show. Love the candid parts as well. Sometimes the candid things that happen are fun, right? Only the JMSL, Jim Masters Show Live. Jimsil. Watch us on Jimsil. Thanks, Jim. Good night, everyone. And be good. You too, Juanita. Kathleen says, good night, Jim. Love the show. See you tomorrow. You too, Kathy. Jennifer says, thanks. Jim, thank you to your personal love who gives their personal time for you to us. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Great night. Thank you, Jim, for a great night. You as well. I appreciate that. And Bernadette, of course, says good night to everyone. Christine says an enjoyable evening with Bob. He is so very talented. And he had interesting stories, had real great energy. I loved hearing the Grinch song he played, Funhouse Tour. Thanks, Jim and Bob. You got it. Bob was my college roommate's name, or actually, well, he's no longer my college roommate. He's married with kids and works for a sports magazine. Sweet, lovely dreams, everyone. You too. The candid parts remind us all that life happens and it's just real. Absolutely. The candid parts are fantastic because it's what you do with it. It's how you roll with it, right? You don't need to panic. All you need to do is relax, breathe from the diaphragm, take care of one another, love one another, be good to yourself. Best of the beautiful holidays. We're in the midst of the holiday season. I wish you nothing but you and yours, all the blessings and joys of the holidays. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, best of the new year. I hope you're having a peaceful and blessed holiday season, even if you're staying home. It's a little bit of a different holiday season. Many staying home and staying close to the vest because of everything that's going on. But hopefully in 2020, it'll be a different year. But we'll be here for you. As long as you guys are here, we'll continue to be here for all of you here on the Jim Masters Show Live. A lot of people have asked, am I going to continue doing this, into the new year and beyond? Yeah, sure. We'll keep doing it as long as you guys are here. And of course, Santa Claus wishes you a very beautiful, happy holiday. Here's another shot of Bob doing his thing, Bob Malone. If you missed these earlier, that's a cool shot, right? And this is another one too. This is Bob Malone. Again, he was with John Fogerty, but he also has a brilliant solo career as well. And cool shot when we were in New York City as well. And again, wishing you all the blessings of the holiday season from all of us here at the Jim Masters Show Live. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to share the levity. Don't forget to find your Zen place, wherever that might be. Mine, of course, is with loving family and friends, the ocean, swimming, surfing, tennis, writing, and of course, my work within the career as well. And love everything I do in the industry. And another Zen place is with all of you. We bid you a wonderful good evening. Thanks for joining with us and hanging in there, folks. You truly are the best. We love all of you, and we will be here tomorrow with incredible mezzo-soprano Celia Burke. She's amazing. She's all excited to be here, and she's going to be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That'll be on YouTube and on Facebook, just for you to enjoy as we share our holiday season together on the Jim Masters Show Live. Love you back, Jennifer. Good night, Jim Masters and lovely friends. Lovely. You too, Christine. All the best, and hello to your mom, too. Good night, gang. Thanks for joining us. We love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow night right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Good night.